What's up, CrossFit Omnia? This week we have box squats. So we're going to talk about why we're doing them, talk about a little bit of technique, so you guys are set up for success this week. So we are transitioning. We'll no longer be doing front squats the rest of the cycle. We're going to do box squats to supplement that. So front squats are primarily a quad dominant movement. We're going to go to box squats, which are primarily posterior chain, right? So we're going to use our hamstrings, glutes a little bit more. And we're going to use this as more of a dynamic effort movement, okay? So we really want to focus on speed on the way up. And then we will still be doing our traditional back squats, hitting heavier loads as we continue, okay? So first thing, we'll talk about the setup. John is going to demo for me. I've got a box right here. So a couple of things. John is going to step slightly in front of the box, okay? It is okay to have a little bit wider stance. And then from here, he's going to sit down controlled and pause on the box. Good. And then right here, you'll notice his shins are completely vertical, right? He's got a slight lean forward with his torso. He's going to pause, and then he's going to stand up from that position, okay? And then another rep. So he's going to think about sitting back towards the box. Shins are completely vertical, and then he's going to stand up, okay? So a couple things we don't want to see. We don't want your knees to come forward, right? We want to be extremely vertical, right? So this might be okay for a regular squat, but for this variation, we want that vertical shin angle, okay? Which might feel a little awkward, might be a little bit different, but that's what we're trying to hit today, okay? So he's going to make sure he gets that. So I like to think about standing a little bit in front of the box rather than stepping all the way back to the box, okay? The other thing, when we pause, so he's going to go down, he's going to pause. Even though we're sitting on the box, I want you to brace, okay? We're not going to relax in that position. And then notice he's maintaining that slight lean. What I don't want to see is where we lean back, we move that torso angle, and then we come forward before we stand, right? Okay? So that's something to think about. We're going to maintain tension even though we're pausing. And then as we come up, he's going to be explosive. Hips come through, right? So for this, it's okay to go a little bit wider, and this might feel a little awkward. So if that's you, it's okay to go lighter today because we want to hit this technique properly rather than just going heavier, okay? Another thing to think about, we really want to sit back in those heels, okay? So if you typically wear lifters, go ahead and ditch the lifters for this movement. You can keep it with your regular back squats, but we don't want to be tipped forward on our toes, okay? So again, sit back on that box, stand up, okay? So last thing I just want to talk about, you can rack it, John. Ideally, that height is we're going to be right at parallel, okay? Or maybe slightly below. So if you need to, if we can't find ideal box height, one, we could stack plates on top of the box if needed. Or if we need to, we can put some plates in front and stand on them to help get that right height, okay? So you have to play around with it a little bit. There is a little bit of wiggle room, ideally right at parallel, but we can have a little bit of variability slightly up or slightly down, okay?